Welcome back, everyone, to the Bear Fellow Plays YouTube channel. Today is Saturday. It's November 22nd. I've got a lot of plays and a lot of locks for Saturday. Want to know again on the lock? Tommy Castellanos over the 43.5 rushing, easily hit in the might have hit in the first half, but he's sitting at like 80 right now. It is 21-11. Florida State is going to lose the game, and Norvell, he's already fired, but he's extra fired after tonight. Not his fault. Not his fault at all. Florida State moved the ball almost the entire game. Whenever they got to the red zone, when they got past the 50, everything just collapsed. The special teams, when they were down by 3, the punter punted for NC State, hit off the helmet of a special teams player, bounced back 30 yards. The punter recovered his own punt. That's number one. Defense goes back out there. Defense gets another stop. Punter goes back on the field. NC State punts once again. The returner this time for Florida State muffs the punt, and NC State gets the ball back. Defense gets a 3 and out. But wait, NC State goes for it on 4th and 6, and they score a touchdown. If you're a Florida State fan, you're mad at the guy who didn't eat shit out of the Red Solo Cup because you've been cursed ever since. You're not making a bowl game because you're going to get your shit shoved in against Florida. So another bad season for Florida State, I guess. Unbelievable. And he's still calling his timeouts like the trooper he is. Just disgusting. Disgusting effort. Disgusting everything from Florida State. Let's move on to tomorrow. I have a lot of locks. Kansas, plus 3.5. We're going to lock this puppy up. One of, I think, 5 I have tomorrow. Kansas started the season out pretty well. They've struggled over the last several games, but they have been competitive in these games. They beat Oklahoma State. Not a good win, but they were competitive against Arizona, and they're going to be competitive in this one going up against Iowa State. They're now 500. They're looking for that bowl appearance. Their last game of the season is Utah, so they're going to have to win this one. They need one more win to get to that bowl. Iowa State's already locked up for a bowl. They have 6 wins of the season. Kansas with Jalen Daniels this season, they've been explosive, not as good as Jalen Daniels was whenever he first came to Kansas, and he was looking like a guy who can go maybe in the first round of the NFL. He had a highlight reel on his neck with that gold chain. That was pretty sick. Now he's just okay. He's still going to be able to move out of the pocket. He's still going to be able to run. He can still throw the ball pretty efficiently, but the running attack for Kansas is really what I'm looking at in this game. And I do think both teams are going to be able to run the ball well. Kansas defensively not very good this season. Iowa State has not looked very good at all those as well. I'm tired of people being like Iowa State got a good win against TCU last week. No, TCU is one of the most frustrating. They're almost as bad as Florida State. They are one of the most frustrating teams. Sonny Dike, he keeps saying it. Like, they just keep killing themselves. They keep turning the ball over. They keep making mental mistakes, penalties, just worst case scenario things you can think of for TCU. That wasn't a good win last week for them, and I'm going to pick on TCU once again. But the reason I'm locking up Kansas plus 3.5, and actually, I had someone tell me that I shouldn't lock this up because I do have some things here for Iowa State. The bird and the blender, they have the new helmets, which is a cyclone and the cardinal or the bird in the cyclone. That's still going to be the first time since 2007 that Iowa State wears these helmets, and I'm telling you, they're sick. I love the look of them. They're white with a red cyclone and a red bird at the top coming out of the cyclone or tornado or whatever you want to call it. But sick helmet. I'm still going to go with Kansas plus 3.5, and we're going to lock it up. Usually that would scare me off, but Kansas needs this game. Must-win game. They're going to get their ass kicked by Utah next week. Leipold's a great coach. He's going to get him to a bowl. They're going to win this game. So plus 3.5. Let's move on. Oklahoma minus 6.5. It's there because I needed space. I'm not valuing the Oklahoma pick over any of the other picks on the left, but Kansas is going to be a lock. Oklahoma minus 6.5. Missouri's a little bit broken. The defense didn't look great. Quarterback came in. Basically what you need to do if you're Missouri is give him Maud Hardy the ball 40 times. Him and Roberts, great duo, but I think Oklahoma defensively will have enough in the tank to get this one done. So give me the minus 6.5. Other games, Arkansas and Texas minus 8.5. It's a system play. The system I have is that Arkansas is horrible. Their defense is horrible. So Texas minus 8.5. That's a system. Pitt against Georgia Tech. Pitt did not play against Notre Dame last week. Georgia Tech has been messing around, winning close games. They lost to NC State. I think Pitt's the better team. All you got to do is keep Haynes King in the pocket and make him throw. Don't let him run over you. Easier said than done, I know. He's a great player, especially in college, but he doesn't have the arm talent. So give me Pitt plus 2.5. I think they win that one. BYU minus 2.5, going to lock them up going up against Cincy. They've been my team in the Big 12. I know they lost to Texas Tech, but really responded well against TCU, just shoving them all over the place. Won that game by 25-plus points. And then Houston money line. Again, TCU, Houston's at home. TCU, not a good team. Not at all. I do not understand why people keep saying TCU is a good team, and they just keep having these losses. Quarterback's great. Hoover's great. McAllister's great. They have nothing to back it up. Houston money line. Player props tomorrow. Isaiah for Oklahoma. He has been good this year. Had a couple tough matchups against Alabama, and what was the other matchup? Anyway, it doesn't matter. He's been the big play guy for John Mateer in this offense, so I think they're going to get back to the big plays. Missouri was not very good defensively against Mississippi State. I mean, they held them to, I don't know how many points they scored, but Mississippi State was in the game against Missouri for the first half at least. Blake Shapen was getting the job done throwing the ball for most of the game. So I'm going to go over the 65.5 receiving for him. I think John Mateer and that Oklahoma offense try to get something going before they go to the playoffs. Arch Manning over the 265.5. You want to talk about a guy who has been attempting a lot of passes and trying to get the reps in for next season, that would be Arch Manning. 300-plus yards in back-to-back games, and then they played Georgia, had 49 attempts, still had 200 and something passing yards, only one touchdown. 3-plus touchdowns in 2 of the last 3 games. Arch Manning is getting better. I have said that. I told you he was crap in day number 1. I told you 5 or 6 weeks ago that he's getting better. I told you 2 weeks ago that he's getting better. He is getting better. 265.5 over the passing against the Arkansas defense, who will give up 300-plus passing in this game. And then finally, Bear Bachmeier over the 276.5 passing plus rushing, a game that BYU, and I know I keep saying must win, but it is a must win game here for BYU. They cannot slip up against Cincinnati, a one-loss BYU team who plays Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship game competitively will most likely be in the playoffs. It's a little bit of a stretch if they lose to Texas Tech by like 14 or 17 like they did the first time. I don't think they'll get in, but if they lose to Tech by 3 or 6, and even if they win, they'll definitely go. But if they keep that game against Tech close in the Big 12 championship game, they might get in. So they have to win this game. Cincinnati's a frisky team, especially at home at night, but Bear Bachmeier has shown time and time again in big games, whenever you need him, he shows up and must win. Texas Tech's defense is elite. I'm not going to hold him against them. He'll do better against Cincinnati. 276.5 passing plus rushing. All the plays, Kansas plus 3.5, Oklahoma minus 6.5. You see them all in there. I'm not gonna do them. I do want to add one though. I've been giving it out every single week. We are 5-0 in the last 5. Missouri State. Why don't I see them on my sheet? They're playing Kennesaw State. I believe they're plus 6. They're plus 6.5 against Kennesaw State. So I'm going to take Missouri State once again. They were my Tuesday team before the MAC started. I watch a lot of their games. I like their quarterback. Defense is frisky. Like their head coach. I'll take them plus 6.5. They're still competing, and I love that. And they've won 5 straight. Missouri State plus 6.5. If you listen, you heard it. But if you don't, you didn't. It's all right. NCAA football picks and props for Saturday, November 22nd. If you guys enjoyed the content, please share, drop a like this video, and thanks for watching.